all at once. So this is a picture of my family, which is my wife. That was in the Hawaii trip. Well, here's what we're going to do today, everyone. I want to help you revolutionize your business and truly become the best version of you. And as I was thinking about this training and over time in Arbonne, I have found that there are 7 basic and simple things that all VPs in this room know and have done to create the success in their business. And I know that you too can apply these things to your business to become a VP or to get to the next level. How many in this room want to get to the next level at Arbonne? Good. I guess I'm clicking. There we go. All right. So the first thing that when we're talking about revamping your expectations is a little story that came to my mind that I actually heard from a pastor, and he was talking about 2 fishermen that were out at sea fishing, and one was across the lake and the other one was, on the other side of the lake, and the one fisherman keeps seeing this other fisherman throwing back all the big fish as he's fishing and keeping all the small fish. And after a while, curiosity gets the best of him, and so he rows over to the guy and he says, "I am sorry, sir, I have to ask you, why in the world are you keeping all these little fish and throwing back the big ones?" And he says, "Well, that's easy. I only have a 10-inch frying pan." But I think when we think about that, that's so true for ourselves sometimes. I want everyone to have a huge frying pan. Sometimes we get stuck in our old ways of thinking and we can't increase when we do that. You can't accept all of the blessings. And so, I don't know about you all, but I'm headed for a bigger frying pan. And by the way, I tried to get a big frying pan through security at the airport and they said absolutely not. And another thing too is when you go through I have issues at the airport. I don't know if anybody else in here, but the last car presentation I went to in Chicago was I had my baby with me, and I was trying to tell the lady, I said, infant in arms, it's not on my ticket, infant in arms, and she said, excuse me, and next thing you know, I'm getting escorted away because they thought that I said infantry arms, and I got searched, and I almost missed it. Have you ever heard the statement that what you think about, you bring about in Arbonne? Have you ever heard that before? Well, I have a few stories for you to just, explain that to you. At first, before I was introduced to Arbonne, I was operating with a small frying pan. I thought, you've got to get a JOB, just over broke, and work for someone else who's a boss who controls everything for you, your retirement, when you see your family, all of that. And one day I was sitting in church and I prayed. I said, I'm ready to accept some bigger things in my life and get that bigger frying pan. I want to accept those blessings. And I said a prayer and I said, Lord, bring something into my life someday. And I started thinking, well, what am I good at? I don't know. I'm not really good at I don't know what I'm good at. Really, I just like people. And I actually still have this piece of paper in my Bible that I wrote down, and I have saved the sticky note all these years, 8 years almost at Arbonne, and it says, I wrote down literally, natural beauty consultant. Never even heard the word Arbonne. And I wrote that down. Do you think that what you think about, you bring about? After that, literally a week later, I was in school, because I was teaching school, and I see an Arbonne catalog, the 2005 Arbonne catalog getting passed around in the school, and I said, what is this? There's some natural products out there? I've never heard of this before. And so I call the girl's number on the back and I say, I know that you are a substitute teacher here and your name's on this. I said, is this something, are you a dermatologist or something? Is this something I could possibly do as well? And I called her and said, I think I want to do this, but I'm not a dermatologist. And you know what, guys? Never got a call back. You think that follow-up is a little important? True story. I can't make this stuff up. A few months later, I get invited to a spa party. Forgot all about Arbonne for a while, and sitting there, and I think, oh my goodness, this Katie, this girl who's talking, what is it? This is that catalog. I run up to her after the party. I'm like, I'm doing this business. Give me the information. And I started right away. So, really, what you think about, you bring about. The first thing that I did was come up with my 21 reasons why. And I brought that to show you as well because I have saved them since the day I started Arbonne. I wrote down everything I wanted to get out of life. You know what's funny when I look at this? I didn't even think big enough at that time. When you grab a hold of this business and run with it, I promise you, every single thing that you write down will absolutely get checked off your list. And then some. And then some. All you have to do is don't quit. These 20 reasons why I got, replaced with all these pictures. These were my dreams, and then they were able to become a reality. I love looking at those pictures up there, and there's so many more I could add. I couldn't fit them all on a slide of all the blessings that this business has brought to me. One of the things I didn't write down on my list was, someday, 1 year ago exactly, that I would have to be in the NICU for 3 weeks. Maybe some of you remember that with the baby. Doctors were telling us he may only have 3 days to live. And, to be able to sit there with me and my husband, not just visiting like all the other moms got to do in the NICU. We stayed there every second, sleeping next to our baby. I didn't leave but for 10 minutes real quick when he was sleeping to go grab food and come back to the room. And that was because of our run. At night, when my husband and I prayed together, we thanked the Lord for this business opportunity. That wasn't on my 21 wires. That wasn't on here. Do you know what that's called? Prepare for impact. That's what former President Rita Davenport used to tell us. Prepare for impact. Write that on your paper. That's what you need to do. You have no clue what's going to come in your life. What you think about, you bring about. And when we were in Hawaii, one of my things I told my husband is I said, wouldn't it be cool if we saw Owen Wilson here? Let's go to Mama's Fish House and eat. Because I heard he goes there sometimes. And so we're in Mama's Fish House. Of course, he's nowhere to be seen. And we're sitting down eating. And my husband goes to the bathroom and comes back. And, I'm fumbling with the kids and the food and everything else. And he sits down across from me and he goes like this. He says, now don't get crazy. But Owen Wilson is right behind you. And so I give him the cell phone and I'm like, take a picture, take a picture. Of course he wouldn't do it. We're still in a fight about that. But why do you think that works? You know that everything begins with thoughts? You have two parts to your brain, the conscious and the subconscious. And I wish I had more time to tell you how exactly this works. But, everything that you see and the things that happen to you and your five senses and all the things that people say to you become a part of your belief system, and they go back to your subconscious mind, which then files it into storage systems. So then when you need to make a quick decision or whatnot, you can grab it really quick and make that decision in your conscious. You don't take the time to say, oh, I'm not going to touch that stove because it's hot, let go. You just do it. You instantly do it. That's how your brain works. You only use 10% of your brain. Imagine what the other 90% is doing. What are you feeding? What are you putting into your mind? What thoughts are you telling yourself that are becoming a reality because you're telling it? Because believe me, your brain will go to work and do whatever it can to manifest that and make it become a reality. That's how your mind works. It's like a memory muscle. Okay? And so stop telling yourself things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not fast enough, I can't lose weight. Because when you tell yourself those things, your brain says, okay, she wants us to not lose weight. Okay, she wants us to not be a VP. Okay, and they will do whatever it can. Tell yourself, I can, I will, I deserve it, I'll do anything it takes to make it happen. The difference between the VPs versus other mindset is the VPs say, I'm going to create my own success through hard work. If somebody else can do it, I can too. Versus life happens to me. I don't know. Why does this always happen to me? I'm going to walk around like Eeyore and say, oh, brother, everything always happens to me. I'm a victim. Don't be a victim. If you want to get successful, you have to take the steering wheel. Don't let somebody else control it. You take the steering wheel for your Mercedes and for your life and you drive it. How are you going to do this, though? How can you do this? You say, Val, but I'm not trained to do that. I can't think big about myself. You can prepare your mind on the way to parties, on the way to one-on-ones and get-togethers and group presentations and activities. You can be thinking big, thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to rock this, I'm hot stuff, everybody's going to want to do the business with me. So expect big things, but then you have to make the big things happen. You have to refuel your business and make it happen. I'm trying to click the slide, but it ain't working. That's okay. The next slide is a picture of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. You know, if he gave up after being turned down by banks 242 times, there would be no Starbucks. How many of you like your Starbucks? Yeah. Do you think he felt a little down after 241 no's? Do you think he felt like, I don't know, maybe I should quit. Maybe some other coffee shop can do it, but I can't. Well, their coffee looks better than me. They know more people. No, he kept going anyway. I was sitting in the rocking chair nursing the baby and all that the other day, or a week ago now, and I thought, what is it that gets people successful? Really, what is it that everybody needs to hear? And I thought, you know what? It's belief coupled with just be busy. Just work hard. You can always work harder to achieve what you want. You determine what you want, realize you deserve it, and then work hard to make it happen. You know, here are a few things to help you refuel your business. Number one is activity. It's easier to act your way into a feeling than to feel your way into acting. You know, sometimes we say, oh, gosh, I don't feel like making that call. I don't want to hear rejection. That's a protection mechanism for you. But you have to do it, and then after you do one, and then you do another, and then you do another, pretty soon you start to feel like it. Hard work is how you prepare for luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in opportunity. When I was a kid, I think I was about 13 or 14 years old, I rode my bike 2.5 miles uptown to the local ice cream shop, and I sent them an ice cream cone. That's what we did. And I get up there, and Betty and Dan, the owner, they... you know, she said, well, here's how much it is. And I said, oh, I forgot my money. And I said, are you hiring? And then she said, actually, we are. And she asked me a few questions, and she said, can you work right now? I said, all I have to do is pedal home and get some shoes on, and I'll be back. And that's exactly what I did, and I paid for my ice cream cone. And that's what you have to do with Arbonne. Don't say, oh, I got to wait until it happens to me. You create the opportunities through hard work. Number two is passion. Write down the word passion, please. Look at this word. It says, pass, on. Guess what? It doesn't say, pass Chris Weiler on. I love Chris, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't say, pass me to Irwin, or pass Beth Loman. It says, pass I on. That means you. You pass yourself on. That's the awesome thing about this company is the passion that we all have. That's what's going to drive you. Your why is going to drive you through all the hard times. Be authentic. Don't compare yourself to others. When we compare ourselves to others, we start to get depressed because we start thinking, well, gosh, it's not happening fast enough. You know, and then you start thinking, why is it happening faster for them and not for me? Why does she have this and I don't have that and he has this? You know what? When you do that, you start to think, maybe I can't do it, and you start bringing yourself down. And you start thinking, maybe I don't deserve this, or what's the matter with my business? Nothing's the matter with your business. You know what? People you're comparing yourself up against are more screwed up than you think. So don't do it. Don't lose your passion by comparing yourself, and realize, you know what? You're actually closer than you think. We are working hard and hard and hard and hard, and sometimes you feel like, I'm going to quit, I'm going to let go. You know what? It's always darkest before dawn. Right when you're in the middle of feeling like this isn't working, what's the matter? Why did that person quit? Another no-show, 0 sales, whatever. I feel like quitting. It's always the next moment when you persevere and push through that, and you overcome that obstacle, when you get to that peak in your business. And where you say, yes, I'm so glad I stuck to it. I'm so glad. So that's number 3 is keep going. Payday is coming. Remind yourself. Val said payday is coming. The key word to keep going is new. I don't know if I'm excited. I'm sorry. Push the button. You just got to keep going and find new parties, new activity, fresh new business builders. You know, it's like the little metal detector on the beach. I don't know if you've ever seen all those guys in Speedos. I have no clue why they're always in Speedos with the metal detector. But they're on the beach walking around, and it's like beep, 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 beep. And sometimes you can go days, you know, you can see them. I've talked to them before. They go days without finding anything, but they keep doing it anyway because they know that there's maybe a gold nugget out there. Some days you find a lot. Sometimes you go through a stretch, you're going to find it. It's called commitment and sticking to it. We get down about people not sticking in our business, you guys. Let me tell you an example of somebody that I met. One of my friends owns a yoga studio. And she said, you know, it's crazy. Have you all heard of Groupon? Groupon? Okay, so she did that to drive some more business, and she did 20 sessions for $20. And she had a massive amount, like hundreds of people who purchased that Groupon. And she said, you know what, Val? Only 10 people actually used the Groupon. Do you think everybody in this world is committed? No, you are, but don't let it get you down when somebody says, I want to do Arbonne, and they're saying that, but they don't get started. It's okay, they didn't quit, they never actually started. I said, take it off yourself. It's not anything you're doing wrong. You just have to give it time. Like EMVP Lisa Hamilton says, you know what? You can either have the cubic zirconia right now, or you can give it time and take that coal and make it a beautiful diamond. And that's what you have with this business. You give it time. While you're sitting here today, this is what I have done every single year at GTC. I make a prospect list, whatever you want to call it, an ACE list of people that I know in my life that I think would be phenomenal at this business. And the last GTC, I wrote down Karen Collier. And you know what? She is now an RVP in my business, on the way to MVP this month. Isn't that awesome? So write them down and say, that's who I'm going to talk to while I'm on fire when I get home. You know the difference between the VP mindset and others is offense versus defense, okay? VPs think, I'm going to keep on finding new, constantly. New, helping your old, don't leave them in the dust. Encourage, because the 80-20 rule. I'm going to constantly keep my own personal calendar full and finding new business builders. Where sometimes when you're a newer business builder or you're in that desperate mode, you want to hang on to the team you have and force them and drag them and pull them and push them. It's like the Bugs Bunny example where he's, I don't know if I love Bugs Bunny, I'm a big fan. And where the abominable snowman's got Daffy Duck, who's dressed up like Bugs Bunny. And long story, in his hand, and he's going, finally, I found him, I found a bunny, my very own business builder bunny. I'm going to hug him and squeeze him and love him and call him George. And meanwhile, Daffy Duck is saying, I'm not a bunny rabbit. And we've got those people on our team saying, I'm not a business builder. I just want to live off. Let me go. But you've got to keep finding new. The next thing is focus. What is focus? Well, people think, oh, it's, saying yes to one thing and focusing on it. It's actually saying no to the 100 distractions that go on in your life. The kids, the cell phone, the TV, everything else. And sometimes, if we get honest with ourselves, we use those distractions as excuses. Gosh, I wish that I could go out and make those phone calls right now, but you know what? Gotta switch the load in the laundry. Don't use those excuses. I have 3 words for you. To-do list. Is that 3 words? Yeah. To-do list. Make a to-do list every night before you go to bed. Number 5 is give encouragement. You guys, I felt like quitting in the beginning of my business. And hidiness. Company to help others. And by the way, texting to encourage your team doesn't work. Pick up the phone, send the card. As much as I love social media, it's about the physical touch and the hugs. One of my wives is to spoil my parents, and so I got my mom an iPhone. My mom's down here. And many of you know English is her second language, and so she has this sort of one-way conversation. I used to have a dog, and he didn't take her from home, but he had three of them, and so, you know what I would do is I would smother them in butter. I smothered it in love, and then he swallowed it easier. Sometimes you have to have those hard conversations with your team. Just dip your arrow in a little honey before you shoot it at him. And I know people will make me crazy on your team. You know, studies show that actually 1 out of 4 people are mentally imbalanced. So think, they really are. Think of your 3 closest friends. It's true. Think of your 3 closest friends right now, and if it's not them, it's you. So the next point is you have to reverse your attitude. No, sorry, that's not. Rethink change. You're on the wrong slide. That's okay. Rethink change. Changing. You know you're involved in an at-home business when it's time to get ready for bed, and you're like, I don't even need to change. It's still in my family. But we've been talking a lot about transformation. I love what I've already heard. Transformation calls for change. You have no growth unless you change. Something kind of the opposite of transformation is partial metamorphosis. I don't know if you have any biology or science in the room, but an example of that would be a moth who keeps the body but never leaves its wings. They don't transition all the way to what God made them to become. They can't soar in their wings. You know why? They can't let go of their past body. They can't get past their past hurt. They can't look at their conditions through a new paradigm, a new belief system, a new set of eyes, and they never fully develop, and they switch to new behaviors. Reverse your attitude about failure. I embrace failure now. You have to make the most of the best and the least of the worst. When I was newer in the business, I think I was a business manager or consultant. I had a girl who was a friend of a friend, wanted to start our band, lived about 10 to 12 hours away from me, and she said, let's start to get your calendar full, and I'll come there. I did that. And she got 3 or 4 parties booked, and I drove all the way here, and the first party, of course, didn't happen. What did my upline teach me? Stay positive. And so I said, let's do this as a training. She said, don't worry, that's not a training. Okay. So we did the whole training, went to the next party, and again, nobody showed up. And then by the time the third party rolled around, she said, don't worry, this is going to happen. Lady is on house arrest, and she's on a tether. She can't leave. Great. Of course, needless to say, I drove home the whole way. What used to get me down for a week, I chiseled down to get me down for a day. And what used to get me down for a day, I now laugh at. Just a few months ago, I showed up with one of my business builders, Heather Wheat. She said, I got this ace I want you to meet. So we show up at this coffee mess. I'm a frazzled mess. I, show up at this coffee shop, and I threw my sweater on, and I thought, okay, I'm looking good. I just got this nice new sweater, and I walk in. We're going to talk about the business. And I looked down, and literally ink tag on the sweater still. And I looked at the lady and I said, I swear I'm not lying about the compensation plan. I did not steal this. It was a mess. But you know what, guys? If everything's coming your way, you're probably in the wrong lane. Which reminds me a little of driver's training. Progress actually takes place when you fail. Success is a series of corrected failures. You have to have the amazing ability to fail fast, take responsibility, recover, and move forward quickly. But if you want to move into the top 1% of achievers, you simply cannot think the way that everyone else thinks. You simply can't do what everybody else does. You have to think like a VP. Reveal your character. Everybody quickly draw a tree on your paper. Did anybody draw the roots? Because guess what? That's your character. That's bigger than the tree. That's the part that nobody else sees. Storms make your roots grow. And courage is being scared to death but doing it anyways. Be the kind of person that when your feet hit the floor, the devil says, oh no, she's up. The secret to your success, and you might not want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you, the secret to your success is your belief, your activity, and you know what else? It's making everyone else happy and feel good about themselves. That's the truth. It's not about you, and you will in turn feel good about yourself when you love on and help others feel good about themselves. So reignite your belief. We all have access to the same website, the same amazing CEO, the same products, the same everything, but you know what? Why is it that some get there and some don't? It's the belief. We keep digging in our past. You know, when you dig into your past, you're burying yourself in a hole in the future. Forget about your past. Forget about it. Don't think about your mistakes, because while you're doing that, that's your focus, and what you focus on grows. And when you do that, you're missing all the opportunities and blessings with a big frying pan. Don't let dream stealers stop you. Put them on your toot-toot list and beep by their house in your Mercedes and say, "Ha! I got it!" So just shut up. Someone else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. They just have success envy. Ways to build your belief through getting through the hard stuff, and even continue to build your belief through the good stuff, is share some exciting news with your upline. Be excited about the small stuff to get to the medium stuff. You don't get to go straight to, like, you start here and then you go here and then you go here. You know what you do? You read Ian Arbon's stories. I put this Ian Arbon story, and I finally have it. I've been telling my team about this 7.5 years. I put this on my fridge when I first started Arbon, as I read this. And I read the story because she actually delivered her products on a llama. Her Arbon products literally on a llama. And I said, if she can deliver Arbon on a llama, I can do this. And I affectionately called her Llama Lady. And I know you're out there, Llama Lady. Thank you for building my belief. I can't wait to meet you in person. Thank you. You are amazing. Be positive and say to yourself, don't say, well, I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it. Say, I'll see it when I believe it. There's not a reserve sign on success. Realize that you are amazing. Don't let negativity take root in your tree. The way to kill off negativity is gratitude. Be thankful for every little thing that happens in your life. So, leaving a legacy, guys, I want to help you leave your mark. Use what you've got. Practice what you don't. Get in the game and don't let anything stop you. Think about a cement truck. Tons of potential. A lot of you are sitting with so much potential to build an amazing organization. Like a cement truck could build an amazing coliseum. But you know what? It's worth nothing unless you do something with it. Do something with all the potential that God has given you. Use your hard work and your belief. I want everybody to say right now, this is my year. This is my year. And believe it. And wake up every morning and say that self. But you know what? To have a good year, you've got to have a good quarter. And to have a good quarter, you have to have a good month. Guess what you have to have a good month? A good week. Do you know what else you have to have a good week? A good day. Don't put it off till tomorrow. We're all going to leave a legacy. And the question is, what kind of legacy are we going to leave? What are you going to pass on before you pass on? And this last trip to Maui, I was able to go with these two amazing women. And lots of others. But we said we want to go see some waterfalls. And you guys, I'm going to click through these quickly, but we heard all about these waterfalls on the road to Hana. And this is how the waterfall looked, but along the way, I don't know if they could go back to some of the other slides real quick, but along the way, there were some flood warnings. There was some problems. There was a major flood. We were so scared. We thought, can we really do it? I don't know. On the way there, we saw people turning around and coming back. There were smaller falls on the way there, and people were turning around like, yes, we saw the falls. We're like, you didn't arrive yet. What's coming around the corner is even bigger. By the time we got our confidence and we worked together as a team, and we kept thinking people were coming back that really saw the big waters, you're closer than you think. You're closer than you think. And then when we came back, we were directing others. That's your Arbon. Isn't that a picture of Arbon? Sometimes you get in the middle of it and you focus on all the problems when all you have to do is look through the horizon. Be willing to do the things that others are unwilling to do in order to see and have what others will never see or have. You guys, in closing, with risk comes great reward. You know, when my mom was in her 20s, she got on a plane and flew here without knowing a word of English, all by herself, with not any money in her pocket, because she wanted to make a change for her life. She was scared to death. But you know what? When she got here, she told herself, this is a new me. I'm creating a new me. And she said, I'm coming to America so I can meet Elvis Presley and eat French fries and have steak. And you know what? She did all of that except for the Elvis part. think this ends tonight? It doesn't. This is where it begins. Tell your family you've been in an investment seminar, investing in yourself. Reality is going to happen when you leave here. You're going to get some cancellations and some no sales and some dream stealers and some belief going on between your 2 ears. And just say, shut it. Cancel. Get out of my way. I'm doing it anyways. I was in your seat 7 years ago, thinking, really? I'm a district manager. I mean, really, can I really do? Look at all these people. They're all ahead of me. I just don't know. You know what, guys? If I did it, you can do it. Accept all of your rewards with a big frying pan, not the small frying pan. Have a huge frying pan mindset, and then go to work to make it happen. Payday is on its way. You